In the beginning of film we notice Santa Claus and there are the stains of blood on his body. He was going to present some gifts to children. Meanwhile Santa hears a strange voice and someone tries to open the door from back. As the door opens the story moves before 12 hours. Here the movie decides into different parts. In first story we notice 4 friends, the name from one of them was Molly, who was with her friends, who displays a video to her friends. An old video of her school, their 2 students died. In this video an officer is shown, who was investigating there. Molly states to her friends that this video could be fake. So, she wants to go there to collect evidence and takes her 3 friends with her. One friend, Cypress, doesn't go with them, because she has to go with her parents out of the town. Father of Cypress takes his family to her cousin's home. The 3 don't want to go because their cousin is too weird and she doesn't like them. And his father states that if they correct their behavior they'll be same as before. Molly has started her introduction and recording. They were recording all the sounds. Later they hear the voice of school's principal, who was talking to someone on a call. They hide in a room to escape from him that is a door of a basement. Here the family of Cypress is shown. Those have reached at their cousin's house. Cypress's brother touches a toy made by Krampus. If you all don't know about Krampus, it is anti-Santa Claus. Totally different from Santa Claus. It punishes evil people, those who do anything evil at Christmas, and spreads evil. When Cypress's brother touches that toy, her cousin yells at him. When he again touches that toy, their servant notices this time. He forbids him from touching it, that children should not touch this. The brother of Cypress, to tease him, falls that Karamu's toy. The savant says that he has done wrong and you'll be punished. Later on, the cousin of his dad appears, who witness everything. She at once asks to the family to go. The family is about to go but have an accident. The car stops working. Here Santa Claus and his few companions appear. They're making sweets and gifts. During this, one of his friend becomes infected and because of this he acts weirdly. He cuts his hand himself. In the next scene, we watch his officer, who are going back home with their wife and children after taking Christmas tree. In a while, they notice their son has disappeared. They try to search their son but he doesn't find his son. After a while, his son appears, who was quite normal, but his behavior was totally changed. When they're going home, a strange keeps an eye on them. They 3 come back home but their son's behavior was strange. Now, the office decorates the Christmas tree but his son still doesn't happy. His wife presents his son noodles. He eats weirdly. Although his wife stops him but he doesn't listen to his mother. Watching this, the officer tries to stop him. He attacks on his hand with his fork. Office gets angry and goes back to his room. The wife of officer inquires but her son doesn't reply. On the other side, we notice those 3 friends who were collecting evidence. There they find many evidences, blood spots and few words written on wall. They collect all the evidences. They were going from basement, not any of the key was fit on any door. They're locked inside. They consider that the principal might locked him to kill them on Christmas. It seems like the principal might have beaten them. They're afraid and come down again. On the other side, Santa Claus is seemed frightened because all of his elf becomes walking dead. Santa asks his wife to hide herself and the elf attacks on Santa Claus. Continuously every one of the tainted individuals begin to come. Santa Claus individually kills them all. He goes up and sees that his significant other too becomes contaminated. So he needs to kill his better half as well. Here again the group of official is shown. His significant other was cleaning up. Her child abruptly comes to him. The spouse of official states to her significant other that the conduct of their child is unusual. He needs to visit a specialist. However, the official oddballs and says that he'll oversee it. At the point when everybody was resting, official watches all the Christmas presents opened. He comprehends that his child has done this. He goes into his room and asks him, however his child grins and says nothing. Official ends up being incensed and begins to beat him with belts. What's more, his better half opposes, yet he said that he'll deal with. Presently she makes her child dozes. Later on, telephone rings and it was the telephone of more peculiar, who says that he has seen you whenever you were taking Christmas tree from his nursery. I have perused the quantity of your vehicle. This was a similar individual who has seen them. She asks him what he needs. He says her to return to take changeling. The kid in your home isn't your child yet, like a creature. You didn't bring him back, he would have killed your entire family. However, the spouse of official thinks this all falsehood and separates the call. She was finding out about changeling on web. Presently the official feels and goes to apologize to his child in his room. Yet, his better half abruptly hears a sound and watches the official dead. She becomes apprehensive. She calls a similar individual, and observes the manner in which he says that she needs to bring changeling back. She expresses out loud whatever would occur assuming her child. She says that he'll be back. You need to bring that creature cautiously, on the grounds that he knows the feelings of people. That what the human will be. She offers her child to go on drive. He peruses her feelings and assaults her. She makes him weak and ties him in a sack. She takes him to a similar tree. There she tracks down the man. There were a great deal of creatures the same. Presently the spouse of official says that she has taken him back. Now give me my child. The man says that he doesn't have the foggiest idea where his child is. She angrily focuses weapon at the creature. He opposes her to kill him. She kills the man rather than creature. The creature comes to him, however doesn't hurt her and goes in a tree. Later on, her child returns. The two of them go joyfully to their home. Presently we notice the three companions. They hear weird sounds. They appear as though somebody is strolling in top and figure that he may be the head. That comes to kill them. Whenever a companion goes into washroom, Molly and her companion remains alone. Out of nowhere Molly watches the spirit of the woman in her companion that was killed before a year. She becomes reluctant to see her and swoons. The two of them rest her. The spirit of that woman shows up in Molly and she awakens and brings her companion into a room. Furthermore requests to invest a few energy with her companion and kills her sooner or later. Presently she goes to her another companion and sits him on seat and requests to invest energy with him. However, out of nowhere the apparition leaves Molly's body. She re-establishes her cognizant and they hear a secretive sound. Their companion was killed there. Since the woman was in Molly and she knows it all, Molly tells that the young lady was killed in a similar room. Presently she needs to have birth of her child from her. Molly tells that she's pregnant. In the event that they couldn't help her, she would kill them both. Later on, the spirit of the young lady comes in the dead child. She places her hand on Molly and moves her child in Molly. She watches her companion coming to kill her. In the interim, every one of the entryways open and Molly goes. Here Cypress family is shown. They were going on walk that abruptly somebody assaults on her dad. He becomes harmed harshly. Her sibling pushes ahead to take fire. Her mom disallows, however he doesn't. At the point when he holds fire, somebody takes him from the beginning. In reality, it was a Krampus who needs to kill their family. Since this family blames Krampus, particularly her sibling, and he has broken the toy as well. Here, the sound of Krampus was heard. It appears as though he was coming nearer to them. They begin to run and reach to a congregation. His dad recommends that they ought to admit their wrongdoings, so Krampus pardons them. Presently Krampus tells that she has taken something at her father's cousin house. Also her sibling kills the feline at their house. So, Krampus takes him. Krippy's mother becomes furious on her dad. That he lacks the capacity to deal with her child and consumed unsurpassed to his business. He says that there is no more business. He was making fool, he has no business left. Later on, Krampus takes him from his chain. The two of them terrify and stow away. Cypress feels something in her feet and it was Krampus. Her mom assaults on him and says that she'll battle with him. You'll run any other way, he'll kill the two of them. Her mom challenges and Krampus kills her. He was pursuing Cypress, who surges towards her father's cousin house. To address everything except her cousin doesn't open the entryway. Here Krampus comes and Cypress lakes a wooden stick on him. She sprinkles oil and consumes him. Krampus moves from beast into that worker who was at her father's cousin house. Presently he lets her father's cousin know that he was changed over into worker. That he has bursts his indignation to her family. Presently she tells Cypress that they definitely knows everything, so that is the reason they push them out. Out of this displeasure, Cypress changes over into Krampus and kills her father's cousin. Presently the scene where the film begins is shown. Before Santa, when the entryway opens, he sees Krampus before him. They battle a ton. Krampus breaks the weapon of Santa and tosses and enchains him. Santa Claus by put his weapon and going to kill Krampus. When he was beating him, Krampus changes into a man. Also police comes to kill him. In this film all the casualty committed any error. Possibly they were shrewd, or they deny anything or ridiculed Christmas. Any individual who does evil at this celebration, Krampus either kills them or rebuffs them.